Hey friends, you know where I am. It is a sunny day here on Sun Mountain. And I always like to do one run up this mountain when we're on this detox cleanse. And what usually happens is I'm afraid to do it. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, because what often will happen is overnight my body will start to really rest, because A, it's detoxing, and B, I'm not ingesting as much caloric energy as usual. So I'm doing a different kind of recovery, basically. It's a deeper kind of recovery, but day to day it can feel somewhat exhausting, somewhat draining when to be on this prolonged cleanse. Yesterday I had one smoothie in the middle of the day, and other than that, just juice, and I didn't even have a lot of juice. So, your body gets to a place where it's like, okay, we're not in an energy expenditure, growth building phase. We're in a cleansing phase. And that's a phase that our bodies don't go into, I think, nearly frequently enough. It's one of the things that reminds me, that I'm always reminded of when we do this thing. After the first, I think I even mentioned it, like 2 or 3 days in, there's this sense of, oh, right, that's what this process is about. And it feels kind of familiar because I've done it a lot, but also like a distant memory coming back, because so rarely in my regular life does my body really go into a deep cleansing mode like this. So anyway, all of that amounts to a condition where I'll wake up on the day of a run like this and go, do I really want to do this? Can I really make it up the mountain? I don't know. but I had this little inner voice in my head going, just do the run, don't skip it. And so I did. Here I am. And almost as soon as I started running, so again, I'm walking, you get to the bottom of the foothills and you have to walk for like a half mile before you get to the mountain. So I usually walk that part to just get my body warm. Get to the first little incline, start running. And my body's going, oh, whew, whoa, I'm breathing hard already. What are you trying to do to me here? And then I go a little further, and before I know it, I feel like, wait, there's a lightness to this. Even though I don't feel as like I have as much reserve energy, I do feel like there's a lightness with which I'm carrying my body. That's interesting. Maybe it takes less energy than I think to do this. So I try to lean into that a little bit, and before I know it, I'm halfway up the mountain. I'm 2/3 of the way up the mountain. I'm 3/4 of the way up the mountain. I'm to the point where I've kind of done most of the hard work. All I got to do is do a kind of plateau up to the finish, and then do the sort of steep sprint at the end. And it happened like I was there, like before I even really had a chance to get tired. And this is what flashed for me as I got to the top of the mountain was this sense of, we have infinite energy. We actually have infinite energy. There's no limit. There's so much energy in our system, so much energy in our psyche, in our mind, in our body. Nutritional energy is the tiniest little tip of the iceberg. So completely randomly yesterday, we're driving up to Santa Fe, and my phone starts playing me a YouTube video called Let Food Be Thy Medicine. It's 7 or 8 panelists, all different doctors, nutritionists, a farmer, holistic health practitioners, Ayurveda, Doctor of Oriental Medicine was on there, there's just a wide variety of people all talking about the importance of nutrition, the impact of food. And one doctor said something I really resonated with. He said, you know, it's easy to think of food as the caloric intake, right, of carbohydrates, the protein intake, the fat intake. Those are the forms of energy we typically think about when we, in the West, when we think about adjusting our diet, making changes to our diet. What do we need more of, right? But what he said is, that's the tiniest little sliver of what that food is offering. The way we should think about food is as intelligence and information that we are downloading into our system. So anything we put in our mouth is information. It's like putting a little pin drive in the computer and downloading some software onto it. That's how to think about food, he said, because they've done studies where one bite of an heirloom grain, a really healthy, organically grown grain, can start to activate DNA function. It can start to literally trigger new neural pathways, but new pan-systemic realizations of our existing DNA information. It doesn't change the sequence, but it can activate our DNA. One bite of food. That's unbelievable. If we understood every single time we put a bite of food into our mouth that's what we're doing, imagine what would happen. Not just to us personally, but imagine what happened to our society if that's how we understood food. We're downloading a program that has pretty massive implications for a meat-heavy diet, big time, but even other, there's plenty of super unhealthy vegetarian and vegan food too, given the kinds of oils we use, the kinds of cooking methods we use, the kinds of processed food that's out there. But that image of thinking of our food as information with a lineage of information, right? If we're eating a plant, that plant grew out of soil. It grew from a seed. It was watered. It received sunlight in a particular region of the world. There's beyond our ability to comprehend how much information is contained in every single morsel of food. And it's not that we need to understand it. We just need to appreciate that that's happening. So like what flashed for me as I was getting up to the top of the mountain was, we have infinite energy. We have literally infinite energy. Now that doesn't mean if you haven't gone on a run in 20 years, go out and run a 100K ultra marathon because you have infinite energy. It just means you have, for me, how it manifests is I have infinite energy to take my next steps. And usually, even if I'll be sitting here thinking, oh, can I run up this mountain? Can I do it? Not only do I have enough energy to do it, but I have enough energy to do that plus something beyond that. So it's like next steps plus. We always have the energy to take our next step plus. And that is empowering. That's encouraging. That's just a beautiful way to think about life. And keeping that in the context of being really conscious about how we're nourishing our bodies and what we're teaching our mind by everything we ingest, that feels like I feel like this particular cleanse is setting up a new blueprint for how I'm going to live going forward. And man, would I encourage folks to try it out, run the experiment. Pick a time in your life when you can do it. But my wife Katie's doing it in the middle of a super intense job that's relentless, and she's constantly dealing with stressful people and stressful situations. So I've kind of got the catbird seat on this cleanse because I get to stay home and teach from home. But whatever your life circumstances are, you can make it work plus. Like, you have the energy to take the next steps plus. And that plus is going to be the thing that as soon as you take the first step, you go, oh, I see where this can go. And it's like, you get, not only is it, this didn't cost you energy, it actually gave you energy, and it's going to boost you into the next thing. So yeah, we go to All Juice potentially today, but latest by tomorrow. So I'll keep you posted on how it's going, but it's a beautiful experience so far. And how about Sun Mountain? Just gonna take a look here, see what you're seeing. Appreciate you folks. Thanks for tuning in. Much love. See you soon.